All right, let's get right into it. If you're a contractor or a small business owner, you know that marketing can feel, well, kind of like a chaotic black box, right? It's confusing. Costs can get out of control. But what if we changed how we think about it? What if we could build it like a machine, a predictable, controllable engine that just consistently brings in new customers? That's exactly what we're going to blueprint today.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to bring some order to that marketing chaos. Then, we'll look at the two main ways to get fuel into your engine. That's inbound versus outbound marketing. After that, we'll map out the entire customer journey, figure out how to turn interest into actual jobs, and finally, how to pop the hood and tune up your engine for peak performance. You know, for a small business, marketing often feels completely overwhelming and super expensive. You're trying a little bit of this, a little of that, and you're just kind of hoping something works. But a really powerful system doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs a solid structure. So I gotta ask, does this sound familiar? You do a social media post here, you run an ad in the local paper there, maybe you drop some flyers. Without a real strategy connecting all those dots, they're just random acts of marketing. Yeah, they might get you a call or two, but they don't build a sustainable system for real growth. The solution to this, the thing that brings it all together, is a sales funnel. And listen, this is not just some fancy tool for giant corporations. For you, think of it as a simple, clear map. It's a blueprint that guides a potential customer from the very first moment they hear about you, all the way to becoming a happy, loyal client who calls you back. This is our system. Okay, so how do we get this engine started? Well, every engine needs fuel. In our world, that fuel is potential customers, or what we call leads. The very first step is getting them into the top of your funnel. And there are really two fundamental ways to do that: inbound and outbound. The easiest way to think about this is pull versus push. Inbound marketing is all about pulling customers in because you're being genuinely helpful. You create valuable stuff that solves their problems so they find you when they're actually looking. Outbound marketing, on the other hand, pushes your message out there, interrupting people to get their attention. Both of these have their place for sure. So for a contractor, what does inbound actually look like? Well, it's writing a blog post about the 5 signs a homeowner's HVAC is about to die. It's making sure your website is set up so when someone Googles plumber near me, you pop up first. It's as simple as posting those awesome before and after photos of a job on social media. See? You're not selling, you're helping. And that builds incredible trust right from the start. Now, outbound is a lot more direct. This is sending postcards to that one specific neighborhood you'd love to get more work in. It's running a Google ad that shows up at the exact moment someone frantically searches for emergency AC repair. This approach can get you results a lot faster, and it's fantastic for reaching a specific local audience right now.
So now we know how to get people into the funnel. Let's actually map out the journey they take once they're inside. This is the absolute core of our growth engine. This path has 4 really clear stages. It all starts with awareness. Maybe they just see your truck or they stumble upon your blog. From there, if you've caught their eye, they move to interest. Now they're on your website, checking out your services, maybe reading some reviews. Next up is that crucial decision stage where they're comparing you to 2 other guys. And finally, if you've done everything right, they take action. They pick up the phone and call you for a quote.
Okay, so someone downloaded a guide from your website or they filled out your contact form. Awesome. They're in the funnel. Now what? We can't just sit by the phone and hope they call, right? We have to actively nurture that interest and build on that initial trust.
This is called lead nurturing. And here's the absolute key. Not everyone is ready to buy the second they find you. Nurturing is the art of staying in touch, of providing consistent value, of building a real relationship so that when they are ready to pull the trigger, you're the only one they even think about calling. But you have to do it the right way. Just blasting everyone with the same generic, one-size-fits-all email, it just doesn't work. It feels impersonal. It shows you don't really get their specific needs, and it just gets ignored or deleted. It completely destroys the trust you're trying so hard to build. A much, much better way is to set up a simple automated workflow like this. The second they request info, bam, they get a welcome email. A few days later, an automatic email goes out with a helpful tip or a link to a blog post. Then another one comes with a glowing customer testimonial. And then finally, only after you've built all that value and trust, you make the offer. It's a system that works for you 24/7, even while you're sleeping. All right, our engine is built, we've got fuel coming in, and we have a process to turn leads into actual customers. But we are not done. The final and maybe most important step
is to pop the hood, look at the data, and make sure we're constantly tuning this thing for maximum performance.
I mean, think about it. Without data, we're just guessing. How do you actually know if your engine is running efficiently? Are you getting good mileage out of every marketing dollar you spend, or are you just burning through fuel with nothing to show for it? So how much more efficient can it be? Let this number sink in for a second. According to research, a well-run inbound marketing program costs 62% less for every single lead than traditional outbound methods. That is a massive, massive efficiency gain for your engine. And here are the gauges on your dashboard you gotta watch. Cost per lead, that just tells you how much you're spending to get one person's attention. Your conversion rate shows how good you are at turning that attention into a paying job. Customer acquisition cost is the real bottom line. What's the total cost to get one new customer in the door? And finally, lifetime value tells you what that customer is truly worth to you over the long haul. You have to track these. It's non-negotiable if you want to grow. So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. Looking at your own business right now, where do people get stuck? Is it just getting them to call you in the first place? Is it turning your quotes into actual jobs? Find that one single bottleneck. And based on what we've talked about today, what is one small change you could test this week? Just one, to start clearing that jam and making your growth engine run just a little bit smoother.